Peter Semler. I'm head of Capital Intelligence Group. We have a specialized service called CI Ukraine. The question is also, you as a former deputy finance minister, how important is for private sector investment to mobilize? We have occupied the south and the eastern Ukraine, but northwest, I was in Lutsk. It was very dynamic. You have very good companies. Very good private sector companies. Western investors have been investing even before 2014. After, you have Cargill, you have some other ones. How is your efforts to get that investment mobilized? Get the private sector. You got Caterpillar, who has solar turbines, biggest producer of generators there are. You have Metso from Finland that does forestry. Northwest Ukraine is a forestry. How effective is that, and what are your problems? I think MIGA is going to announce a fund for war insurance. You have DFC, EBRD, and others. I was just wondering how are you getting to that? Thank you.
I'll answer this question not only as ambassador, but also, as you said, as former Minister of Finance, but also as someone who before that spent many years in private equity. So it's impossible. It will be impossible to rebuild Ukraine or build something new, as we say, and build back better, to steal American president's phrase, without massive participation of private sector. Regardless of what compensations or reparations or frozen assets we would be able to get to compensate from Russia, we can only quickly rebuild if private sector is actively involved. So this is number one priority. And actually, this is number one priority now. So we have launched this platform, coordinating platform, after military security Rammstein, after energy contact group. A month ago, there was inaugural meeting of the coordination platform for reconstruction, and we call it the financial Rammstein. So first, I'm very grateful to all American and Ukrainian business that actually continues to do business now. And regardless of the full-fledged war, there are so many companies that not only stayed in Ukraine, but continue to pay taxes, continue to pay salaries. We value each of them. And they are such an inseparable and important part of our victory. Because in addition to sustaining the war effort, we have to sustain running the country. Second, we're looking already at these areas which are going to be the future growth areas. No surprise, agribusiness, innovations and IT and high tech, all kinds of manufacturing. Also, they knew the military tech, something that is developing rapidly in Ukraine. And we see emerging companies, startups that have their products on the front line today, which are helping us tremendously. So we work already with all the IFIs. MIGA already has provided 2 companies, if I'm not mistaken, with first kind of pilot war insurances. We're trying to widen that and have that project more accessible to business, so that business can start today, not only planning, but even investing and expanding in Ukraine. The demining is a very important aspect of that. We are starting the new planting season right now. And it's necessary. We are the most mined country in the world right now. It's true. So we need to do the demining again as we speak right now in order to be able not to miss the upcoming agricultural season. But we're working very actively even now with American Chamber of Commerce, with the U.S.-Ukraine Business Council, with all type of business associations, and trying to reach out. I probably meet with American companies as much as I meet with people about weapons and everything else. So it is a priority. We are focusing on it. We have the Vice Prime Minister for Reconstruction. Our Minister of Infrastructure has been recently promoted to that position, so that actually, while fighting, we can continue doing that. And because we understand it's important, also please know that while fighting on the front line, we also continue to do the reforms. So I know it's not something that I have been talking a lot, spending 90% of my time again on sanctions, financial support, and weapons. But during this year, we continued, we finalized the selection of the anti-corruption prosecutor. We are doing the court system reforms as we speak. One of my people that I personally know, a judge who volunteered and went on the front lines and fought actually in the active combat, had to return because he's part of the selection committee for the judges. So he's doing that until he can. We're doing that because we understand that creating level playing field is very important for business to come back or expand as soon as possible. And because we understand that we have to win the war, but we also have to win the peace. We have to show that we can not only defend ourselves, and actually it's what democracies have to show to everyone, that democracies can not only, here in the West, we know that democracies can deliver better to the people, but now we have to show that democracies can defend themselves. In Ukraine, we know we are showing that we can defend themselves, but we also will have to show after we win that we can deliver to our people.
Certainly back.